Welcome back to another episode of the Purple Pill Podcast. I'm your host, Robert. I've got my co-host Darren and my other co-host LA. How y'all
Yo,
doing this week?
cool week. Wasn't as hot.
Wasn't as hot as it last week. That's true. Um, I mean, not but not great. But yeah,
The streets are on fire, though.
definitely, definitely.
The streets are on
We in
fire.
full summer mode. I'll tell you that.
So what? This week started with the Bing Bang Boom. What happened first,
Big
Darren? What was
thing.
the first thing they dropped on
Oh
us?
no,
It wasn't student loans being forgiven. I'll tell you that. That shit's not happening.
not happening yet.
Not happening at all. Them niggas was like, let's give New York guns. Let's see how many people live to get their student loans.
That's fucked up.
I swear to God, this shit is retarded. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it was a lot from the Supreme Court. A lot from the Supreme Court this week. Uh, how was y'all week? How was your week? LA, Rock.
It was cool. I went to work. I still got a Nipsey.
That's always a good thing. That's the highest you
It's
can
probably
do.
rolling out again. So
Well, speaking of New York gun laws, y'all saw little TJ got shot.
shocker.
Nah, bro, they said he was just eating breakfast.
I believe it. It's just shit's getting out of control, bro. I like him too. I'm pretty sure he's one of the new little rappers I like. So
Well, you know,
that's
on a completely
crazy.
separate note, it's crazy how out of all genres of music, hip hop is the one that's like extremely dangerous, or you go to jail.
Why is that surprising?
I don't know. It's just like,
They
dang.
bring it upon themselves.
And
That's not always fair, but okay.
oh, I won't say
Homie
that.
has a song called "Pop Up at Your Party" and talking about shooting niggas at the party and shit.
Yeah, I get that. But at the same time, sometimes this is just a persona that they're pursuing to just sell records to feed their family.
Oh, I would agree with that, right?
But
But
sometimes I get
Joel Santana was on Nori's podcast, Drink Champs podcast, and he was saying, or Nori was trying to tell him, these new rappers try to live the life that they're portraying.
All right,
While
not to
the
cut you off.
old school rappers,
I need you're picking up on LA's mic.
because the old school rappers, they more so just wanted to tell what they were living and get away from it.
live that, tell that story, and get out of there.
Yeah, but the newer rappers want to actually show that they're portraying it, that they're doing it.
All right, I'm gonna need you to repeat the whole thing because you sounded horrible. Repeat everything you just said.
They were saying that these new rappers were trying to portray the life that they're trying to live the life that they're portraying, while the newer rappers or the older rappers were trying to just get away from that life.
But do the older rappers realize that intentionally or unintentionally, um, they made it look cool to the new rappers, that life?
That they are doing better, they can look back on these lives and say, "Yeah, bro, like I made it through this shit." Like that's what they're expressing their stories. They're telling their what they've experienced.
Yeah.
And now you have these new people who are thinking, "Hey, this is rap. I have to be a gangster to rap." Where in turn, it was just still happened to be that the people who made it to rap happened to be gangsters
Or around gangsters.
or around gangsters. So they knew of that life. They knew that code. They were able to speak that talk. You know, but I don't think that's necessarily like how it's supposed to be. Like I love Currency. Currency is a great rapper to me. That man don't come out here talking about shooting people and fucking your bitch and all this other shit. That man talking about cars, smoking weed, and what he be doing. Like,
Yeah.
and it sounds smooth.
They do.
But some people just they see that other side of it. They think it's maybe like Rob said, maybe in their eyes it's glorified.
I mean, I would
Maybe
argue before hip hop, violence was glorified. Tony
in
Montana,
America,
Tony
yeah.
Montana, Scarface, Godfather, old school Western movies, where it's always a one-on-one draw thing. Um, I would just say we always been obsessed with violence in this country.
That's true. But now Johnny Law's cracking down on y'all. Do you think your Twitter is safe? They know. They know everything about your Twitter, baby. Don't get fucked up.
They
Here-
know.
Don't get it fucked up.
Here's what I would say though. I used to be highly against when parents and moms and older people used to say things like Grand Theft Auto make kids want to go do this shit in real life.
Yeah.
But I will say this, that like the drill music, the Chicago drill scene music, that shit makes you want to put a mask on and go shoot somebody.
No, it does not.
It does.
I listened to Chief Keef years ago, and I never wanted to go put a bullet in nothing.
Go listen to Vaughn. Vaughn makes you want to put a ski mask on and slide on folk.
First things first. Rest in
That's
peace.
crazy.
Rest in peace, Devon. But
Think about how detailed his
I don't-
raps were, bro.
I don't think I want to live. If he makes me feel that way, I don't think I want to listen to his music.
I think, like I said, that man was just telling his truth. That's what he lived. That's what he experienced. That's the energy he's able to give off
And I'm,
because it's authentic for him.
and I'm cool with that. But
And that's
if
great,
if it
but-
makes me feel like I need to do that, then
I don't think
I don't need to be listening.
I've listened to R. Kelly. I've listened to all kinds of people. I don't want to kidnap bitches. I've listened to Lil Wayne. I don't want to shoot myself in the chest. Well, that don't even make sense.
Nah, bro, I'm telling you, the way Vaughn be telling it, even like his sad stories. He has a whole song about going into like the gas station grocery store on the side corner store and coming out and his boy's dead. And it's just like fuck, bro.
I
And
don't know why.
I think it's done so well, and it's so the videos are so done so well, and the way he tells the stories are so detailed. During that song, it makes you want to like do some shit.
That's crazy.
I don't think, and once again, no disrespect, but if I don't lose somebody near me, then I don't think I want to go do that.
I think what Rob is saying, and now that I'm thinking about it, it does make sense. Not necessarily us, Darren. We're
Thank you.
damn near 30 years
Thank
old,
you.
but younger people who haven't necessarily found themselves, who haven't necessarily experienced enough life, when they're shown something like this, you know, if you're in suburbia and you're shown this type of pain, you're shown this type of different life, you wouldn't I can see someone gravitating towards that and feeling like, oh, this is how I really feel because they haven't found themselves yet. I can see that. It's wild, but I can see that.
Yeah, but there's a problem with that. Then
I mean,
we got a problem. It's not about finding yourself.
when I was younger and I heard Lil Wayne for the first time, I swore I was gonna be a rapper, bro. Like that shit spoke to me. Like what he was talking about on Carter 2, like I swore I was about to be out here doing shit. So I could feel that. I could feel that. I could feel what he's saying.
If you talking about being a rapper, yes. But if you talking about
We're also different type of fucking people.
yeah, but
I'm not. I got an African mother. I'm not about to go out here and do none of this crazy
yeah,
shit.
but you're talking about something totally different. You wanting to be a rapper opposed to wanting to take up a gun and go do something because of a rapper saying that's two different things.
I'm saying being influenced by a rapper in general. But now what he's saying about this man's lyrics might be talking about some wilder shit than Lil Wayne's. I'm talking about Mrs. Officer. I'm talking about Shooter. I'm talking about Fireman. Like he's talking about what Vaughn's talking about. But now, if he was talking about what Vaughn's talking about, I'm listening to all this music all the time. That type of energies around me, maybe I would be thinking about those type of things. You know what I'm saying?
Well, then here's my point: the people who are making that music aren't making it.
They're making that music for them. It's not for y'all. That's just how that's their therapy.
That's my point. And if you're in suburbia and you're relating with these songs, but your friend didn't get shot, you don't have no friend that
It's 'cause
you
they're
walk
finding
into,
themselves. They're trying
but
to find
you're
themselves.
making up a story in your head all of a sudden.
I'm not
And
saying
then
it's
that's not cool.
But it's not even making it up. You're seeing it. It's so detailed. Like
it's
the
not your
video, the
friend.
lyrics.
not, yeah.
It's so
Rob, it's
fucking
not your
detailed.
friend. Rob, it's not your friend. If you're going to school every day and having a good time, and your friends are legitimately going home and you're going to their house and eating at their crib and all of this, it's not
I'll give you another example.
And that's fine.
You
but
guys,
when
you guys.
it's fine. Relevant. Cool. This is
You
what's
can
cool.
fuck with the music.
That's what's relevant.
You guys know
So
Logic?
you know, everybody.
You guys know Logic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know
The
that
rapper?
1-800 song he made with the suicide hotline?
No.
Yeah, he made a song that was a hotline for suicide,
I didn't know.
and essentially just told people that if you're struggling, call this number.
Good for him.
Yeah.
So the reason I don't like that song is because it has you singing "I just want to die today," and it just has you singing that line. You're just like, damn, bro, those lyrics are so damn powerful. I'd have stopped myself. I'd be like, I'd stop myself. Like, I need to chill out on this song because he's making suicide sound cool. Even though it's a suicide prevention song, he's making that shit sound cool. You can't make suicide sound dope on a dope beat and you rap into it. You're making it sound too cool. You know what I'm saying? And that shit's very powerful.
Yeah, there's power in words, but I like to look on the good side of things. Maybe he made it sound cool and whatnot, but in his intent, it was making it sound cool to open that conversation, to open up the lanes of communication, to talk about why you feel that way with somebody. Not necessarily suicide itself, but yeah, I can totally agree that shit sounds terrible.
But it
That's
sounded
how
great. It sounds great musically.
I would not. I probably would not listen to that song.
No, it's actually a really good song and a really good
I've
video
known
with a really
about it
good
for years.
message
I
behind
won't
it.
listen to it.
But my point
So-
is the chorus to that song is just making you sing "I just want to die today" multiple times. Even somebody who's not suicidal, that shit, I'm just like, damn, this shit hard. This shit hard. You can't make suicide sound like this damn good. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
There's definitely power in words.
I see what y'all saying. You also gotta be somewhat able to relate to this shit. Like I just
I don't think you
my
have to.
favorite rapper was Biggie, but when Biggie's talking about fucking bitches when I was a kid, I didn't understand what he was fucking talking.
I get it.
So like,
I get it.
like there's a certain part of it that has to be relatable. What Rob was pointing with that song, I understand that because kids struggle with that shit. But if we talking about Vaughn shit, I feel like in Chicago drill in general, I think a lot of that shit is made for Chicago or people who losing friends in inner cities, not suburbia music. It's not that.
But then you get all these.
But
mass
my
shootings,
point
man.
is, these songs
You
sound
never
so
know
damn
what you
good.
do.
It's not like they're bad songs. It's one thing for it to be a bad song because you're not going to listen to it over and over again. But since it's a good song and you're going to be banging that shit in your car, next time somebody
know
says
what
something
to
crazy,
use.
you be like, oh, I got to slide on them like Vaughn or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
No.
He's not saying everybody. He's saying that it is like these mass shooting kids that are going out here. You know what's on their playlist?
Probably not these songs.
Bro, but
They're shooting
once
them
again,
out.
to that point, there's some
They're
great
killing
school
black
shooter
people,
songs
so they're
out there.
probably not on this one.
You never know.
There's some great school shooter songs
who are
out there.
rappers killing?
Black people.
Come on, man. What do you mean? I don't want to hear that. What else we got, bro?
There's some good school shooter songs out there that are very fucking powerful.
We're not
My
about to do that.
favorite Tyler
We're not
song
about
is a school shooter song. That shit's very powerful.
Look, we get that and everything. We get that and everything. But they're not anywhere near telling anybody to do any of this shit.
No, the artists aren't. But my point is, it sounds so damn good musically that it's gonna make you want to do that shit.
No, I disagree. I just disagree with that.
And I think people do it. Oh damn, Vaughn talking crazy. I gotta do that shit too. I wanna be down.
I think Rob is wrong though. that cannot be true. Okay, so if first off, if y'all are right, that has to be some inner city shit. And my problem with what Rob is saying is that the main consumers of hip hop buying it is white people.
They love that shit.
Thank you. But why? So then, if you're saying there's a comparison that makes certain people want to go out and do this shit, but it's not happening in suburbia, but they're the main consumers of the music, are you trying to say that there's something wrong with people who are black or inner city?
It's not what it's
No, no, no. I'm not saying
That's
there's
the
a.
comparison I'm getting.
I'm not saying that they can relate to
I'm
it,
saying
Darren.
is that the music's influential on you.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they relate to it at
They're
all.
not doing it. That's my whole point.
They may not be doing it, but it may provoke you to do that. The next time you get in a situation, you'd be like, "Damn, this dude talking crazy to me. I gotta fight this nigga." It might give you an instinct to fight first, then possibly try to talk that person down or try to have a conversation with that person. It
How
may
many
make
times
you.
you see on Facebook these little kids with BB guns, they spray black trying to look hard. Like this shit does influence kids, and I understand it. And they may not go outside and shoot up a block, but they try to
Imitate it.
look hard. They try to feel included. They're trying to find themselves.
Like, you ever seen like kids go around with the airsoft guns or the BB guns, try to do drive-bys and shit
Yeah, they try to look hard. They
with
try
the
to get,
paintball guns and shit?
you know, I've seen it.
People be on stupid shit.
I think that you know what, I'm gonna leave it alone.
And I think if
easily
it wasn't
relate
good
back to
music,
the
we
time.
wouldn't have this problem.
If it wasn't in the music,
If it wasn't good music, like if it was over a trash beat, over trash lyrics, no one would give a fuck. But because it's dope and it's hard beat and it makes you feel a certain type of way, you're gonna listen to it more. I'm not saying it's gonna make you want to join a gang, but there's this case from California.
Kill somebody.
There was this case from California where this white kid joined a gang because he was listening to hip hop and shit, and he was down with the gang, and he got caught up in the whole situation with he being the getaway driver. In saying that, he had a really rich parent, so he ended up getting a really good lawyer, and they ended up getting him off. What'd you say?
Talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really crazy what you could get into. But we're gonna segue for that into this the New York gun laws. Darren, can you talk about that? Introduce that.
So I was actually just double checking what I saw, but like I said at the beginning of the podcast, the U.S. Supreme Court passed a lot of things, and they passed. Essentially, they said it's unconstitutional for states to say that you gotta to have extremely strict gun laws. So, in the main two states that I know of that had strict gun laws was New York and California, and so they're I think they're essentially trying to make it more that you can have your Second Amendment in those states. Now is that open carry or carry conceal? I'm not 100% sure, but that's what's going to pass soon. It looks like it already passed, and they're going to give the states a grace period to actually figure out their gun laws. My question to y'all is, knowing the gang culture in California, the crime rate in general in New York, the Bronx and such, how do y'all think this is going to affect everything going forward in these states?
I think it's a
And
good idea.
also,
Go ahead.
you don't think it will?
They have guns already. Just because they couldn't get caught, the game hasn't changed. You just still can't get caught with it.
Now if it's registered.
I mean, the game still hasn't changed. You don't. They could still frisk and search you or stop and frisk you. Like the game may change.
But if it sure is,
But
you're good. Right?
Mhm.
Opposed to before when they the stop and frisk in New York, they would stop and frisk you. You got a gun, you go to jail.
Yeah.
Now it's are you registered to have this? If it is it open carry, is it on your side? Now these are other questions that they have to start asking.
But what I'm saying though is if they stop and frisk you and you have a gun that's not registered,
Oh, you're going to jail.
you're going to jail. But that was still the same rule before this, right? So
You
your
weren't supposed to
question
have a
was
gun.
gang culture.
I don't think you were supposed to have a gun.
But what I'm saying though, gang culture, like no gang member's gonna have a registered gun on them because they are gonna go do something not illegal with it. Is what you're
Huh,
questioning,
that's
right?
fair. That's
So the
fair.
game hasn't changed. They just still can't get caught with it.
Do you
Now,
think,
law-abiding citizens,
do you think the law-abiding citizens are more able to protect themselves because of this?
Yes.
they hopefully, if trained, will be able to. Otherwise, they're just gonna be a casualty while trying to use a gun.
So we were talking about the little TJ situation earlier today. Apparently he got shot by some guys that were trying to rob him, and his people that were with him, his friends with him, pulled out guns and started shooting back at the guys, and both of them got arrested because they had illegal guns on them,
Like I said, don't get caught.
and they're going to be
Game hasn't
charged.
changed. Game hasn't changed. You can't get caught doing dumb shit. You can either do dumb shit or stupid shit. You can't get caught doing both.
But here's the thing, LA, they were using those guns out of self-defense.
Like I said, you can either do stupid or dumb things. If you want to have an illegal gun on you, you can't get caught shooting that shit. You can't be stupid and dumb.
Even to
That's
protect
it.
yourself and your friend that's about to get robbed.
So if you were protecting yourself, you know what you would do? You wouldn't have an illegal gun on you.
Well, they wouldn't have a gun at all.
If you're
Because it's New
protecting
York.
yourself,
By New York state laws before this,
yeah.
they wouldn't be able to have a gun. That's what Rob was trying to say.
Oh, well then they would have security. Like, what do you mean? You're rich, you're a millionaire. Buy fucking security.
Oh, bro, I don't know if little TJ is rich yet. I don't know. I don't know when you get rich.
If you're getting robbed and getting shot at, you are probably rich.
No, that's the thing about hip hop, bro. I don't know,
At breakfast,
bro. Like people in hip hop. There was a guy who was a dentist in Texas. He just so happened to rap on the side, but he's a dentist. He got shot coming out of his office.
did he have
People are just prone to shoot. Huh?
Did he have grills? Like what relationship?
I don't know, bro. He's just a dentist, bro.
I don't know.
He's just a dentist.
All I'm saying though,
According
is if
to the internet, they say he's worth $600,000.
no teacher,
Yeah.
that's enough to get robbed.
To get robbed. To get shot.
If you're resisting what I'm trying to rob, okay. If I was in this situation and I was the robber and I was in New York and I try to rob you and I've got, you got chains or whatever on you, I'm trying to grab that shit for my clout, for my rap career, whatever. I've already committed a crime, a felony. And now I pull out a gun, which is another crime, and felony, and I shoot you. And then you pull out your gun and shoot back. Now everybody's already fucked up, right?
In multiple ways.
Everybody's already fucked up. First of all, we fucked up by being in New York. Second of all, we fucked up by shooting. Illegal fucking, like, I don't know what to even say.
Yeah.
This is wild.
Yeah. That's a very crazy situation.
And this isn't even, yes, this is gun violence, yes. But this is also the other thing, like we talked about when I talked about Spot and God. I'm like, if you're going to live this life, if you're going to, not saying Spot and God don't live this life, don't do whatever, or does, but if you're really going to live this life, you're going to portray this type of whatever, like you gotta be in it. Like you gotta be ready. You gotta get security. You gotta have the bulletproof. Look at Rick Ross. That nigga's whole car was bulletproof. Like you gotta know what you're getting into.
But Rick Ross also got shot at on the highway. YG also got shot at.
If you're gonna be in this shit, you gotta be ready. Like I'm sorry, this is what you wanted.
I don't know, bro. I would argue Rick Ross isn't
What?
so much of a gangster rap. That makes sense.
Okay, well, maybe not.
I think rappers are just targets these days, bro.
You ever heard anybody trying to kill Neo?
Because he's not a rapper.
Okay,
I think a better person would be somebody like Childish Gambino.
He's a singer, rapper. He's
a rapper.
He's an artist. Is that why?
Oh, yes.
He's an artist, so nobody's trying to kill him?
Yes. Put it like this. Drake got robbed. Drake didn't get robbed at gunpoint.
No? Why, Drake didn't get robbed at gunpoint?
No.
No? Why is that there?
Because he was on stage.
Yeah. So how did he get robbed?
They went on his tour bus
No?
and took some shit.
Okay. So all I'm trying to say though, rappers out there, please be safe. Please have security. If you're going to be in places you can't have guns, please have people that are registered to have guns. Because you know that when you can't have guns in New York, certain people can. Called security.
But you gotta pay.
Yes, you pay for it because you can't be stupid and dumb. That's how you die or go to jail. And y'all just don't seem to understand that shit.
See, here's my problem with this. The record companies get rich as fuck, right?
What the fuck about these niggas?
Look, they give you an advance. That advance you gotta pay back. They're paying for every hotel, every form of transportation that you gotta get to these places and all of that. Now, on top of it, they gotta pay for security in every state and every city you go to.
They wanted a gangster rapper, right?
Facts.
You gotta pay
Preach.
that price.
I'm not talking about from the blame of record companies because they're getting all that money back.
100%.
It's the fact that these niggas are signing this deal, then they don't know about these costs that just randomly pop up. And security is going to be one of them, so because of this type of shit.
All I know is if you're gonna live this life and you're gonna be a rapper, please take your family out of these places. Y'all please do
Bro,
just do
They were in a spot. They were just in New York. They weren't in the hood. They were just in a regular spot that everybody be in. And they just got pulled up on.
Have security at that.
I'm just saying you should definitely know once you've made it, once you sign your name on that line, you got bread in your name. The first thing you should do is move you, your family out the hood and get security. Period. Because you don't want to be in these situations. Because it's not going to be good. There's nothing but crabs all over the world. It just stresses me out. Like, I don't leave my house without my strap, bro. I don't play this game. I don't play these games with niggas, man. I can't play these games with niggas. But I live in Ohio, and you can walk around with a gun in your hand in Ohio. Nobody's gonna do shit to you. So to each their own, baby. But in New York, God bless y'all, man. Because listen. But to answer your original question about gang violence, no, I don't think gang violence with guns or anything like that's going to change because the rules have not changed. Just don't get caught.
Citizens will be able to defend themselves a little bit more if gangsters are trying to rob them.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Shout out to the everyday civilian. That's good. Just be trained with the gun.
I feel like in New York, I feel like store owners and stuff like that were still allowed to defend themselves. Like I don't think they were just getting robbed like left and right.
Yeah, because they were defending their property.
Like, I feel like not a lot has changed, but the average everyday civilian, I feel like with some training and some confidence, you will be able to not be assaulted as you once were, I guess.
Like the shit that you see in some like coming out the Bronx sometimes, bro.
I've never been to the Bronx. I've only ever seen it on TV.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't
I'm
know.
just talking about that shit too.
So I don't know. I don't know how it really is down there, but
Kid that got killed a couple years ago with the machete. Obviously, that probably wouldn't change.
Yeah, that shit crazy.
Because he was a kid, and I'm sure he won't
I
be.
don't think I want to talk about that.
Yeah, but yeah, that was crazy.
All right. All right. So we're gonna move on to something a little bit lighter. We're gonna watch this video. LA, do you want to explain this video a little bit before we get into it?
Yeah. So there are some police officers at a 7-Eleven, and they are telling. They're in the 7-Eleven. This young man goes into the 7-Eleven. He purchases his items. He comes back out. These cops are following him to his car, and they ask him some questions. And this young man then explains to them why they can't act the way they're acting towards him, and what they're doing is wrong. And here you go. Enjoy.
We see some ID.
No, what for?
I just asked you.
What's your probable cause to ask me for ID?
It does not have a handicap placard.
Read the plate, man. You don't even know what you're talking about. DV, that's disabled veteran plate. We can park in handicapped spots.
Let me see some ID, please.
No,
I have never seen anybody wear a police academy
that's your
graduation
business.
after
That's
they
your business.
graduate.
I wear it all the time. To do my training, and I can do that because I'm a graduate. I can wear the uniform.
Have
I
you
can
been
wear it.
certified as a peace
Of course, I have my certification. What are you talking about? Why don't you run the Why don't you run the plate? Why don't you run the plate? Run the plate, man. I
We
gave you
already did.
permission. And what did you see?
Nothing
You
to
had
a
to see
peace
the
officer.
certification. Contact T-Cole. Why don't you contact them? You saw my name. Call T-Cole.
TCOL stands for Texas Commission on Law Enforcement, which serves as a regulatory agency for all peace officers in Texas.
Run it,
Yeah,
man.
run it.
Run 'em.
Run it. Call T-Cole. But you have no justification of probable cause to run up on me. Yeah.
Who was the academy director when you were there?
Contact them.
Who is it?
Ask him. Navarro College, call him.
Well, the reason I did that,
Call him.
I know they just graduated.
Call him. You could have done all of that. You could have done all of that while I was inside.
I don't know who you are.
I don't know who you are. I know about Joshua Believe PD. I know. Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
When'd you graduate?
I don't have to tell you anything. Don't ask me any questions because I'm not answering.
Okay.
Yeah. What? Why? You detaining me?
I don't want you to get hit by a car. Just step back over
No.
here.
Then my question is, are you detaining me?
I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so then don't tell me where to go. No.
Okay.
No.
My sergeant asked me to come over here, so I just
Okay,
came.
well, you need to find out because I'm going to walk away from you, get in my car, and drive away.
Well,
So you
do
need to
mind-
find out from him.
Okay. Do you mind holding off on leaving until I find out what's going on to see if you ask him? Because that's my captain. He's in charge of this.
Okay,
if I ask him, find out if
he's
they're
not.
detained or
I always feel bad for like the younger cop that like trying to figure out what's going on. I always feel bad for them, but let's keep going.
Because he's just having a good time hanging out, and his boss is being racist as fuck.
Yeah, and he's
And
just
he
like,
wasn't
"Damn, I
going to
don't know."
say shit to help the guy, but he was just going to sit there and be a complacent observer. It was all
He's not-
that. You'll see.
Too smart.
That's
Because
not the
first of all, even you know, if I have disabled veteran plate, I can park in a handicapped
Yeah,
spot.
they just
Even
changed-
you know
they
that.
just changed
No,
that.
they ain't just changed that.
Yeah,
It's been that
started-
way.
Well, it started in September. That it was that way.
No, sir. It's been that way for years. I've had this for 5 years.
Well,
It's
as
already
far
been
as
that way.
as far as I know,
And
it started in
if he's a
September,
captain,
changed.
he should have known that. But he didn't.
I
He just saw this, and he saw this, and he wanted to make a problem. That's your reputation there, Joshua. Come on, man.
It is
Yes, it is. How many black
Who?
officers you got?
Right
One.
Yeah, we don't have one right now.
One. Right, one.
Yeah, but
I
He's got
know.
like a
I
body
know.
cam on.
And
We
you
don't
and,
hire
and
you
you
apply.
barely
we don't
let
have
him
to
in.
apply.
You barely let him in. Barely let him in. And your reputation is already bad. From years ago, you had a corruption scandal. You had to get rid of a lot of your
I was gonna say, that was
PDs.
way before I got here.
And you got one amongst your ranks. Are you finished? I gotta go. Are you finished?
You said 1 second. Where's the corruption scandal? The one where
Check T code. Did you call Navarro?
he did call me.
Okay, so then you're feeling small now, aren't you?
No, that's it.
You shouldn't run up on people. You have no probable cause. If you wanted to follow me and run my plate, you could have done that.
Talk to anybody?
No, well, I don't have to talk to you.
And you did.
I don't have to talk to you. That's right. I already told you that. Waste my time and you. You're supposed to be a captain, and you don't know disabled plates have a right to park in a parking spot. And you violating people's rights, running up on them without probable cause. I'm in a uniform doing the same thing for you for free.
Alan Eddings, who was the captain.
So what?
doesn't think-
I don't care what he thinks. I'm a graduate and I have T-code certification.
No,
So
you
I don't
don't.
care
You
what he
get
says.
picked up.
I don't care what he
Are
says.
you a peace officer?
I have
Are you
T-code
a PO?
certification.
Are you a PO?
I have T-code
No, you do not.
certification. Yes, I do. That's when you
Expired.
checked it.
It expired.
Who says who? My certification doesn't say expired. You want it to be expired because you see brown skin. So take a walk. Walk of shame. Walk of shame, Captain. Don't run up on me
I
again.
thought this was crazy.
Don't ever you run up on me again. Do you understand?
How old
Don't
is
you
this? It's like,
ever
look at
run
those
up on-
gas prices.
It's not too bad.
Look at those gas prices. We need to move to Texas.
The memories.
Maybe not Joshua, but we need to move to Texas.
understand?
I thought that was fantastic. I've never seen somebody put the cops in their places so well.
They have like a whole YouTube channel called like The Walk of Shame, where it's just like full of cops just getting wronged, just put in their place because they're wrong in the situation.
Like there was 4 or 5 different cops showed up in this video just harassing this poor man.
Homeboy said, "Yeah, we only got one."
He said, "Yeah, you're right. We do have one."
First comment. Good for him. Stick it to those rednecks. Literally, fuck
I'm
these
happy that
guys.
he
They
just
think they
had, like,
got
a
paid to
body
be
cam.
bullies.
The body cam was good because he was able to just. That could have turned out a different way if he didn't have that camera. Cops act differently when they're on camera, man.
That's the South for you, man.
He said it's expired. He said my shit's never been expired. You wish it was expired. That's how you tell him, OG. They got like 2 more minutes of him just going back and forth with them. That shit's funny.
Video going. I want to keep seeing that.
You want to see? It's too late. It's fine.
Oh, I
It's
can pull it
fine.
back up.
Oh man, I don't get it. Man.
What?
You think Joshua is a poor city?
They have a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I don't think they poor.
I don't have a
So
7-Eleven.
that just sounds like you're trying to give people fines for no fucking reason.
Disabled plates have a
Here's
right
my
to park.
problem with everything.
Location.
Before we continue, my man said for disabled vet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if I'm a cop or not, bro. The second I see you a vet and you actually got the tag to prove it, it's not like you're wearing a uniform, stolen valor type shit that we talked about before. It's not that. It's obvious. Yeah, it's a license plate. It's right there. If I run it,
It's
it's
there.
there.
You good, G?
I can't do nothing else, bro. I appreciate you, sir. Have a good ass day.
He didn't even look at the place. He saw a nigga. He was like, "Yo, you're not disabled. You walked in 7-Eleven."
Bro, like, what is that, bro? What is that?
Go ahead and play it out. He gets
So I
it though.
don't care what he says. I don't care what he says.
Like you can't even pass the test.
My certification doesn't say expired. You want it to be expired because you see brown skin. See again.
Give me a body cam.
Don't ever you run up on me again. Do you
I think he
understand?
just used his phone, bro.
You understand and learn the law. And learn the law. And learn the law. And you better have probable cause before you run up on somebody in uniform. You don't have no reasonable suspicion because I'm on the same side as you.
No, you aren't.
I have TCO. I am a graduate of the police academy. Okay, just like you years ago, you probably couldn't even pass the test. Right?
Yeah.
You go.
Now he's just talking shit. You know, he's just getting his shit.
Yeah, he's talking that yang now.
You get going.
You probably can't pass the test.
Peace officer, and you had no probable cause. You had no probable cause to stop me. You had no probable cause. I have peace officer certification just like you. So go learn the law before you start teaching young people how to do the job. You're a bad example to the young fella over there. You don't even know the rules of parking.
Don't even know the rules of
Right on,
parking.
because homeboy was just like, damn, he was just like showing up and was like, man, what the fuck I gotta deal with today, man? I feel
Right,
bad
I
for
just
that young
wanted to go
man.
to 7-Eleven and grab a coffee and a donut. That's all he wanted was a coffee and a donut.
We ain't gonna get no free coffee and donuts no more for being cops at this day.
Damn. That was probably his first day too. He's like, damn. He's like, Captain, you're not a good officer, are you?
Yeah, maybe I should ask for a transfer.
I want us to transfer to Austin. They know progressive. Joshua don't look like it's hitting.
Nah, hell nah, bro. Fuck that place. I think I remember the scandal that came out.
If we ever go to Texas, remember to not go to Joshua.
Remember that shit.
I feel like black people can only go to Houston at this point.
There's certain places in Dallas, yeah, but yeah, sure. I'm not a big fan of the South. I'll be real with you.
I thought it was good though. This is why we got to learn our law. We got to know how to fight back peacefully and intelligently and safely. That way we know what we can do, or we need to know what we can do in the right way, in the safest way possible. That way we don't get shot out here and littered on the streets. This is how we need to handle the police.
All right.
Facts, I agree.
All right. So now we're gonna move on to another serious topic. We're gonna talk a little bit about Roe versus Wade. That's been a huge topic in America this past week. So I'm gonna play this video and we'll go from there.
The Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade, the 1973 decision that established a constitutional right to an abortion in the U.S. Now, decisions on the legality of abortion are left to the states.
This is going to mean that access to abortion will vary dramatically depending on where you live.
While 16 states and the District of Columbia have laws that protect the right to an abortion, 22 states have laws that could ban all or most abortions now that Roe has been reversed, according to the Guttmacher Institute, a policy group that supports abortion rights and tracks national abortion statistics. The organization details a patchwork of laws among these states, including pre-Roe bans, trigger laws, and post-Roe restrictions that will determine the fate of abortion.
Be the first person to tell you I don't know what trigger laws and post-Roe restrictions are, or pre-Roe bans for that, honestly.
Access in the U.S. 9 states have bans on their books that predate Roe v. Wade, which have been unenforceable for the past 5 decades.
Some of them date back to the late 1800s or early 1900s. These could be laws that could be enforced after this decision or as a result of this decision.
States like Arkansas can now revive their pre-Roe bans through official enforcement or by filing court actions. However, not all states with pre-Roe bans are poised to enforce the laws. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer and abortion rights groups have filed lawsuits to block the state's 1931 law that makes providing an abortion at any point during pregnancy a felony. A Michigan judge, through a preliminary injunction, said the state can't enforce it.
Whereas others in states like Arizona, for example, I know lawmakers there are anticipating that they could enforce their own pre-Roe ban on abortion.
13 states have passed so-called trigger laws on the condition they would go into effect if the Supreme Court rescinded the constitutional right to abortion.
However, each of these laws are quite different from the other one.
And they can take effect at different times. In Kentucky, Louisiana, and South Dakota, the laws are enforceable immediately. But in Texas, Idaho, and Tennessee, there's a 30-day buffer period between Roe's reversal and when the laws go into effect. In some states, trigger laws can only be implemented after state government officials, such as attorneys general or governors, certify the high court's decision. Some states, including Georgia and Alabama, have sought to set stricter limits on when abortions can be performed during a pregnancy. Georgia's ban on abortion around when cardiac activity can be detected, and Alabama's near-total ban have previously been blocked in court because they conflicted with limits set by Roe.
Now the elimination of these federal protections for the procedure and the reversal of the Supreme Court precedent means that it's possible they can be resurrected in some way.
Some states don't have these specific restrictions or protections for abortion currently on the books, and it remains to be seen what actions they will take in the future. Meanwhile, abortion clinics in more liberal states have been preparing for an influx of patients.
They are expanding their hours, adding more staff, adding more days that they are available to accommodate what they expect to be even more patients coming in.
Abortion providers in more restrictive states are also assessing how to support patients who will need to travel outside of the state for the procedure.
Planning and figuring out how they will navigate this different and varying access to abortion across this country will be something that I'm sure will take some time to really nail down and figure out.
So, as men, how do you guys feel about this situation?
This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Explain.
I've ever heard. Like, why? Why? Okay, let me ask a different question. What other health-related situation does the government have control over on any other person, on any other part of our body or human? What other besides abortion does the government have control over? They don't have control over me getting glasses,
COVID.
about me being overweight,
They forced.
about anything.
They were forcing people indirectly to get the COVID shots, or you couldn't work at certain places. They took your job away.
That's not true at all. You can work from home.
Kyrie couldn't work from home.
Kyrie,
getting paid.
Kyrie was still getting paid millions of dollars. I don't think that fucking mattered to him.
Yeah, but it's not about how much you get paid, right? It's about forcing you to get the shot. It doesn't matter how much you get paid.
The government wasn't
He
forcing
got
him.
paid.
The government wasn't forcing him, first of all.
He didn't get forced if he got paid. Nothing changed in that man's life besides he couldn't play basketball. He still got his paycheck, opposed to people who weren't able to work and didn't get their paycheck. Not compared. You can't compare those things.
And I don't think the government was telling him that. That was Madison Square Garden telling him that.
New York.
That's the government.
State of New York.
That's the government.
He's saying federal government. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, the federal
Thank
government. I'm not talking. Okay. So they can say during cases of emergency, yeah, they say if you want to come out in this mass place, you should have a shot. But no one was telling him he can't get a shot. You feel me? Like if he was dying, they're not saying, "Oh, Kyrie, you can't get a shot. Sorry." Like Kyrie has the choice to get a shot or not.
Yeah, but if he chooses not to, they were taking away his job.
That's fine. But now
And that happened to more than just Kyrie making millions of dollars. That happened to anybody that worked for.
But he was making
the
money
Brooklyn
still.
Nets.
Still making money.
What I'm saying though is they have the choice. Here, there is no choice. They cannot do it. Do you see the difference? Is what I'm trying to say.
A little bit, but my point at the end of the day is the government can tell you what you can and can put in your body.
The government can suggest. Yes, I can give you that.
You're getting this convoluted.
I can give you that. They can suggest health related things to you. Yes, but at this point, what is happening is they're telling you you cannot do this health related procedure. They can suggest you should get these COVID shots and these boosters. Yes, they can suggest it, but no one's coming in your house tying you down and putting this shit in you.
You can't compare this and COVID. You can't, not the COVID.
As opposed to you being, I don't know, pregnant and you
high
don't want
risk.
to be pregnant.
It's a high risk of you having a baby. Like you're an older person, you shouldn't have a baby, or you're young but you don't have.
Regardless of the reasoning.
I personally think unless it.
I'm saying health wise, like if it is a.
Regardless of the reasoning, I don't understand. The government doesn't tell me I have to drive a Honda. Why the fuck do they care? If I'm having 100 kids or 13 kids or no kids, what that has nothing to do with the government. Especially the way our welfare system's fucked up. The way everything's fucked up. There's no baby formula, and you're telling me that get the fuck out of here. This is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. And you know who is affected most by this?
Who?
African American women. That's who's affected by this the most. If you Google right now the statistics, who's having the most abortions?
Just Google who's having the most abortion.
Well, I mean, you probably should not Google that. I don't want you to be on no list, but I'm just saying in general, if you Google it, there's statistics out there. You know, like I just don't because the people who are going the people who need abortions in these states that are saying no are the ones who can't get it. You know, there's not going to be. Like if Kyrie Irving's wife wanted an abortion, you know where they're gonna go? They're gonna go overseas and get a fucking abortion, come back. Oh, that's like
Bro, other one said. Look at Alabama.
They're gonna go to another state where it's legal.
Like this is crazy.
Look at Alabama.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like the amounts are almost improportionate. Like
not in Alaska.
Yeah, that's true because black people probably don't live there.
All right, so I'm going to other southern states. Georgia, 65%.
It's And these are the states that are banning. I'm not saying, that safe sex shouldn't be a conversation. I'm not saying that, Plan B shouldn't be a conversation. I'm not saying that we should just go and kill all the babies. Yes, I believe life is precious. Yes, I believe life finds a way. But sometimes there are exceptions. Sometimes we need to be more able to think big picture.
But
You know?
LA, does your opinion matter since you're a male?
Does my opinion matter?
Because you're a male.
I think that as a collective and as a supporter of human rights, yes, my opinion does matter. I believe that humans should be able to make their own decisions and not told by governments or, like you said, old white people what to do with their body. It's disgusting. If I want to go and get a third testicle put in my body, no one's going to say no. They're going to be like, yeah, go do it. Why not? Give me $8,000 and I'll put a third testicle in your body. But if I don't want a child in me, you're going to tell me I can't do that. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
How many abortions should you be allowed to have before you're not allowed to have any?
As many as you want. If you want an abortion every week, you can have an abortion every week. It's your fucking body. If you wanted to go to the dentist and get every tooth pulled out of your mouth every other Thursday, that dentist is going to tell you to come the fuck in. Like, it doesn't matter.
I agree with you to a certain extent.
It doesn't matter. There's no reason anyone should tell you what to do with your body.
You're probably doing some more harm to your body.
It's your body.
Yeah,
It's your body.
100%. But I'm just saying. Like I said, I agree with you. 100%. I agree with you. I think the only thing I could possibly say is I think me and you was having this conversation. I think we're very immature when it comes to talking about having conversations about sex in this country. And obviously this sounds like the other side of the coin, but I would just say that's also something that we need to start doing and stop.
Educating our young people about sex.
Yeah,
I think you don't think we do a good job at that?
No, not at all. Because we're not mature enough when we talk about it. We're not. We don't.
But that's when we start having sex, though. Like, when was the first time y'all start having like sex conversations in school?
Do you remember sex ed? Did you go to sex ed in school?
Yes.
Did they tell you anything about sex?
Yes.
What did they tell you about safe sex?
Use condoms.
And that was it. That was the end of the conversation.
Well, no, it was more than that, because it was about use condoms. We had a conversation about AIDS, and like sexual transmitted diseases, and things like that.
Did they show you how to put on a condom?
No.
I don't give a fuck what you say. No, they did not.
They didn't show you how to put on a condom. They show you how to properly dispose of condom. They didn't tell you what to do with the condom if you're going from vaginal to anal to oral. They don't tell. We don't have an open.
Well, actually, they actually did. They said that just because you do anal sex doesn't mean that you can't get pregnant. They said the cum from a woman can come from your butt and seep into their vagina, and they can get pregnant that way. They did say that. I thought they were very detailed in our class.
That's not how. Okay, well, that's that I have a problem with that. First of all, second of all, there needs to be a more open conversation about it. It shouldn't be a class you have for 2 weeks and then they go on to talk about how to use a cotton swab in your ear. Like, there needs to be more of a conversation. You should be able to ask teachers. You should be able to ask your parents. Do you know you can go to a movie theater at what, like 14, 15, 16, whatever, and you can watch multiple people get their brains blown out in high def 3D, but you cannot go to a movie theater and learn about safe sex. You cannot go to a movie theater and learn about intimacy with your partner. But you can go and watch John Wayne get blown up 3 different ways to Sunday.
Hold on, like, you can't compare. Who's going to the movie theater to say, "Damn, I want to watch some safe sex"? Like, what do you mean by that? I don't get that. I don't get that.
That is because of the way this country is. If you are in France, for example, you can go to a movie theater, and yes, you can watch American movies, or you can go watch movies about love. You can go watch movies about other things besides just getting your brains blown out. That's all I'm saying.
I think to bring it all home is you might learn a lot about sexual education, but they don't teach you about, how do I put this? the emotion, the passion in the moment sometimes.
Yeah.
And
You
I
can't-
think
you gotta-
that
you
is
have to figure that out.
something. I think that's something that's probably can be just talked about. Like you see it on film so much, but you don't, as a kid, you don't put two and two together. But when you get into that situation, you understand sometimes there's just nothing really up there. There's no common sense in your brain, right? That could easily be taught. Like, yo, there's gonna be times that you're not gonna be thinking straight when it happens. You know what I mean? That's I don't know how to explain it. Because I wasn't taught how to explain it. Let's put it like that.
That's
I feel
why
like
it keeps
they
happening
did a
generation
pretty
after
decent job in my sex ed class, but to go in that much detail, I feel like that would be your parents' job to a certain extent. To go into super detail about having safe
So
sex.
it's the
At the end of
government's
the-
job to tell you can't have abortions, but it's not the government's job to teach you safe sex in detail. Crazy concept.
I agree.
Crazy concept to me, anyway.
I don't know, they brought
I just
condoms
feel like
into class.
I feel like sex is like we learn about so much shit in school. There's no chemistry before sex. Like I'm sorry, like there was a chemist that learned about everything about the elements and shit, but he had to be born first, and that involves some type of sex. My whole point is that this is such a natural thing, but we don't.
It's seen as taboo. It's not the Christian thing to do.
But it's the most natural
It's the stupidest
thing.
fucking thing I've
It's the
ever
most natural thing is sex. To be honest with you, next to taking a shit, probably.
heard.
Like for real, like it's one of the most natural things. Bro.
Actually, I
They
disagree
say
with
in the
that
morning you're
because
supposed to have sex, you're supposed to shit, and you're supposed to shower. That's what
yeah,
they
but
say
you
you're
don't
supposed to
start
do.
having sex till probably you probably want it to be in middle school, but I'm sorry, the earliest is probably like middle school for some people, but you probably in theory want it to be in high school at the earliest, in college, but you're taking a shit for your whole life. You've been taking shits before you could even realize you were taking shits. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you also
It's a little different.
You also need to grow
Because-
mentally, physically, spiritually. You can't just
But
be out here.
at the same time, middle school and high school, you still talk about sex in such an immature way. And I think that could easily be not necessarily erased, but
You talking about from a school standpoint, correct?
talking about from a kid's standpoint. From a
Because
kid's
they're not
standpoint,
taught.
they're not
Well,
taught
do you
to be
think
mature
the
about this. Now, don't get me wrong. There were certain, like I remember, I won't say her name, so at least one girl we went to school with. I remember junior year, she was reading the book Karma Sutra, and I think we might have laughed at her, called her like, like you, like kind of a freak, in the sexual standpoint. But in reality, she was just trying to learn some shit. So I
wait?
think
So
there's
why is that? Isn't that on you? Why is that on the government? What does the government have to do with that?
Why,
Are
the
you saying
government
that
mandates that
we're
in
too
school for
immature
12.
at the age to learn about it?
The government mandates everything else children are learned, though. Literally everything else they're taught from kindergarten to 12th grade.
So who's immature in this situation? The government or the kids learning about sex?
us as American people.
I think that we become immature because we're not being exposed to that knowledge. If you go to Europe, kids are drinking at 16, going in the bars. They're very open about sex. They're very open about everything.
One thing I don't agree with, but I had a roommate that studied abroad, and I forgot what country it was in, but the consent age was like dramatically lower. It was like 14 or 15 years old, 16.
People are open.
and these kids
They're
were-
taught from young ages safe sex.
This girl had just turned the consenting age, and she was hitting on him, my roommate. He was the roommate, but she was hitting on him, and he was like, "Yo, this is weird."
They have
Like,
access to that healthcare,
she-
universal free healthcare.
It's just
If
a little different.
she wanted to, if she was 15, 16, and she was doing whatever with another 15, 16-year-old, their age of consent's lower, and they wanted to go to that Planned Parenthood, they're able to do things
So
because they're more mature. They know what they're doing.
so I don't think our age of consent has to do anything with it, because as long as you're underage too, I think that would be different. Now, if we're talking about like a 20-year-old having sex with a 15-year-old, do you think that's a problem? Do you think that's a
It's
problem
legal
in our country?
No, I'm saying age of consent being that they're able to have the mindset to go into these activities, and then being able to then in the same mindset take responsibility for whatever fallout from those activities and handle it with the free healthcare and the free education they were given that is going to drive them in
But
a
don't,
healthy manner.
but don't you think in America, like you guys were saying before, we're too immature at that age to be having those conversations with
We're too
older
immature
people?
at that age to have that conversation because we've never been educated up to that age.
Example, you know, by that age, by the 16, 15, 14, you know what death is. But you don't joke about death overly too much at that age. You might say something that's fucked up, but you don't joke about death for real. Like if you're learning about something in school, slavery or something, and you found out some people got killed, you don't laugh about it. It's not. There's
Those
nothing
white kids
funny
laughed
about it.
about
But
it.
you're not mature enough. I don't know what white kids you talking about. None of them
Though,
motherfuckers that I went to school with
when I was
did
in
that.
school, these white kids were wearing white hoods to Black History Month parade. They're like that. They will laugh in your face. The most racist shit I've ever had said to me was this racist joke about black people being compared to apples.
Maybe getting off topic a little bit.
No, but my point is, we are very immature at this in our age group in America. I don't think we are mature enough to be like, okay, a 15-year-old has the right to choose if she wants to sleep with this 25-year-old or not. I don't think we're mature enough for that.
I don't think that.
But then at the same time, 5-year-old children are mature enough to know that they're trans and have like
I'm against that.
There needs to be a consensus on what the fuck we're teaching our kids. If we're teaching them at 5 years old about reproductive and being free and wanting to be transgender, we should be able to teach them at the same time about safe fucking sex, and they should be able to have abortions, and they should be able to live freely. If that's what the fuck we're doing, we can't tiptoe around everything, and then just confuse and fuck shit
You
up.
can't say you know about yourself at the age of 5, but then you're not able.
But you're not able to know about yourself at 28, 30,
and actually how to protect yourself. Like we don't.
That's stupid.
For example, like if you are transsexual at the age of 5 and you make it to 18, but you don't know how to have sex safely, there is a failure in your family or whoever you trusted to raise you as who you are, because they need to teach you these things. I think that's kind of where we're getting at.
Did your
cool.
question? Did you guys' parents teach you guys about safe sex?
Yes.
My mom did. Yes.
It depends. It depends how you look at it. They said the words that I listen. No.
Yeah, it was
But
kind of
they
weird and
told
awkward.
me.
It was like, Mom, I don't want to talk about this.
It was symbolism for me.
They told me, but did I care? No. I was out there doing what I wanted.
I'll probably
Okay.
learn more about safe sex from Drake than a lot of people. Just put some hot sauce in it.
That's stupid.
That's not the way.
I think that's what we should be
Stupid,
teaching kids. Hey, be like Drake. Just put some hot sauce in it.
No.
That's safe.
I think you should tell kids, hey, if I get it, the whole wait till you're married shit's dumb. It's stupid. It's not really the way for most people.
I
So if
don't, I
it
don't
does
think it's
happen,
dumb. I don't think that's dumb. I think it's unrealistic, but I don't think it's dumb. That's why we have the conversations, because it's unrealistic.
That's what I'm saying. If it's unrealistic, that's pretty dumb to me. Like I'm not gonna be able to dunk anytime soon. Like I'm not gonna be telling myself, "Oh, I'm gonna dunk today." Like that's stupid. That's the dumbest thing ever. So let's be real about it and say these are what condoms are for. This is what it does.
I think that's
if
what we
you're going to do this. Blah 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 blah.
I don't know. I feel like that's exactly what happened, because the first time we had sex education class was in 8th grade. And that's right around when girls start having their periods and stuff, right?
If that's
and becoming
true,
quote
why are
unquote women.
abortions being banned?
Huh? What'd you say?
I said, if what you're saying is true, why are abortions being banned?
Didn't they say
Why
it was
is it
unconstitutional?
that in Georgia, 65%, which is an unproportionate amount of black people being women, are having abortion if safe sex is being taught in schools at that age in 6th grade?
I don't know about Alabama. I'm talking about Ohio.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to Ohio. Let's go to Ohio.
It's Georgia.
Let's go to Ohio.
It said NR for Ohio.
Let's see where Ohio is.
It said NR.
Hmm.
But
No,
we could
you
use
look
Michigan
at
if you want.
Sure, let's use Michigan.
It's 52%.
Look at that, 52%. 52%.
Question then becomes, how big is the black population in Michigan? That's what it
It's
becomes.
pretty decent because you got to think of all the Muslim people
It's
that moved there
just
too as well.
I can't. I don't know.
My point is, I think we do actually a really good job of talking about sex at a young age.
I-
When the girls start having their periods, about that age, 14, 15, 13, that's a right when you should be having safe sex talks. And that's also, but younger than that, you start when your kids are like 5 or 6 is when you start telling your kids about their private parts. About you don't let people touch your private parts too, right? That's also a big conversation you have about protecting yourself and that way. Like you don't want to just let some little boy come and touch your butt. That's inappropriate. You need to protect yourself, and that if that happens, you tell me and you tell the teacher. We have those conversations at a young age. Did your parents talk to you guys about that stuff? About protecting your private parts?
I don't remember that far back.
Oh, okay. Well, I remember my mom telling me you don't let anybody touch your private parts at a young age. Then, as you get older, you start having those sex conversations around 8th, 7th grade when you start getting those feelings. When's the first time you guys saw a girl that were like, damn, she kind of fine?
I think that goes back to before. I think I'm like too old. Like, what are you talking about? Fine?
The first pretty girl I ever seen, the first girl I ever had a crush on was like in 4th grade.
That's maybe I just like girls at a young age.
Fifth,
I like-
sixth, seventh grade.
I like
as far as I
Maria.
can remember.
Maria back in preschool or kindergarten.
I had a little girlfriend in preschool, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I have little pictures of me.
I'm about to say,
What was the little name? No, she actually did become a little. Like when we moved back to Ohio in like high school, I remember her. My little cousin used to be cool with her too. What was her
mine
name?
was Maria. I only remember that because I moved away from that school to a different one across the city or across the town or across Western Gulf.
She was a little Haagen-Dazs chick.
Wait, what? Gotcha. But yeah, man, mine was Hispanic. Maria, I'll never forget that.
When I was in 6th grade, there was a girl. I can't remember her name now, but that was my first like girlfriend in like 6th grade, and that bitch broke my heart, and I hated her. But pussy was good. Tell you that.
So, what's your point, though?
The point is that the government has no business telling us how to regulate our body, our health care. If they're not giving out free health care, they can't tell me that I can't have an abortion. I feel like that's how it should be. If we get free health care, then maybe, yeah, I can see you having some sway.
Give out free condoms, free
Yeah. All that free shit.
They do give us condoms during those sex ed classes. They gave us condoms. That's like a big thing in high school.
Oh, they're gonna give you condoms for the rest of your life in that one class?
I was about to say, can I go back to that school and be like, hey, y'all got some
You know how many condoms?
so-and-so still work here? Who taught me?
You think
Yeah.
but we also live in America. Why shouldn't the condom companies make money off the condoms?
They can. Let the government buy them all. If
And,
they're, that's what I'm saying. That's
you go
what I'm
to
saying. If they can mandate what does or does not come out of my body in that one little instance, they should then be forced to supply me with things to make sure that shit don't happen.
And in some doctors' offices, don't they give out condoms?
They do. They're absolutely right.
For
They
free?
do. But you know what they do at some doctors' offices now? Get fucking abortions because it's the fucking doctor's office.
The biggest thing I learned the first time my mom talked to me about abortions. The biggest thing she said to me was the reason she was for it is because of how they used to do it when it was illegal. They used to take like hangers and like a back alley.
You don't got it. We already know.
Okay,
I don't
they used
know
to do
if
that shit, and it's just a safer way of doing it than going to that alternative. Yo, shout out to Moonlight Gabby. Do you have any opinions about abortion? Let us know in the comment section.
Please don't. Please don't. I'm sorry. No disrespect, but please don't. I don't want nobody to say nothing reckless about that.
I'm not gonna find you
Like for real.
today.
But you guys are definitely pro-choice.
Yeah, I think we're both kind of.
Me?
Yeah,
Yes, hell
I
yeah.
think we're both pro-choice, but I think my highlight also is that we also have to have an educational standpoint of
Education
sex.
speed. If you don't know shit, you won't grow. Can't grow. You won't get
And
better.
I think that's one of the biggest problems that's really holding us back. Pose as well. That's all I'll also say. Yeah, I'm 100% pro-choice, but also I don't think women should be going to get abortions 15 times out the year either.
But they do, and they have punch cards. Get 10, get one free.
That's a totally different topic. That is a totally different topic if that is true. I don't know. I don't know.
It's like
I don't got that.
big gulp from 7-Eleven.
Ultimately, I just put myself in people's shoes if I was them, and if I was a woman and I was in any scenario where I had a baby coming and I didn't, it was going to do harm to me, do harm to the baby or anything like that. I don't want somebody telling me that I can or can't do.
The only thing I would say is, the only thing I don't agree with some of these pro-choicers is it's the woman's only the woman has the right to get the abortion, because I believe that the male that you had that got you pregnant should have a say in it as well, from a
Why?
legal standpoint,
Why?
because y'all did this act together. Then he should have a say in it.
Is he carrying the child for 9 months? Is this job
But-
about to be affected?
LA, but
LA?
this
No,
is-
it's
but-
not.
Hold on,
Are you
LA.
guys married?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. His job will be affected.
Business with that person
Are
for
you?
18 years. Or
Are you?
18 years, yes, you are.
For 18 years, you're in a business.
Yes, LA.
All right.
You have to take care of a child
You
for
have to
18
take care of
years.
that. You're locked into that child for
I don't know
18
if I
years.
agree with Rob, but it is. I don't know. I'm very big on.
So you guys go out and some dude from California comes into the state. You guys fuck. He goes to California. You find out you're pregnant. So now this dude.
Wait, are we females right now?
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was about to say that.
Now this dude, no, because we're talking about from the woman's perspective, right? So let's put ourselves in the woman's perspective.
Okay.
So now you find out you're pregnant, and you have to find this dude first of all, and then get permission to get an abortion. Is that what we're saying?
No. I'm not saying you have to get permission. I'm saying he should have a say.
He should have a say. He
Legally.
should say, "Yep, let's keep this baby," and then in 6 months says, "You know what? I'm on you. I'm out." Leaves you with a baby.
I think if he says, yeah,
Still gonna have to pay child support.
So why just not have the baby? It's your body. You can just not have the baby.
so what's if the
Because
female
it's
wants the
nothing-
baby and the guy does not want to have the baby?
That's what Rob was trying to say.
She shouldn't have had sex with her. It's her body. She can do whatever the fuck she wants with the baby.
I
But
agree
didn't you
with
guys conceive this together? So why shouldn't he have a
But
choice?
to me, it's don't go.
So if y'all let's switch this topic around a little bit. If people were in a room and they're doing a copious amount of coke together and you overdose, we're in it together, right? I didn't overdose though.
Yes.
Is it my problem?
Yes.
It's not my problem. You fucking died. I'm out.
Yeah, I was about to say your biggest problem is trying to figure out either what to do,
My body.
what to do with my body,
It's
or
my
get
body.
Hold
That's what I
Hold
don't
on. Hold on.
understand. It's
Hold
my
on.
body, regardless of who or what side I'm on. If I want to keep it, I want to get rid of it. If I want to set my shit on fire, it's
Hold on,
my
Ellen.
body.
The-
If I
the
go
drug-
upstairs and I tell anybody, "Yo, I'm about to rip your body in half," nobody's gonna be cool with that.
LA.
Like,
If
it's my body.
the
You
drug
have to
dealer-
rip my body in half.
you remember
What the fuck?
LA, do you remember what happened to the
Okay.
drug dealer that sold drugs to Mac Miller that he overdosed on?
Because he was a famous person, so people gave a fuck about it. But yes,
But they went and found him and he had to do jail time.
yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. Because you're not supposed to sell drugs. But how many other drug dealers are out in the street? All I'm saying is,
Go ahead.
first of all, that whole thing was ludicrous to me in general because that man went out there and got his own drugs and he put it in his body. But that's a different conversation.
But that's two different arguments as well. I want to say a couple things. That's two different arguments as well. If you saying just a whole bunch of friends got together, got some drugs, came together, and then started doing them, is it your fault? No, it's the drug dealer's fault. Not if you overdose it, but if there's something in the drugs that's not supposed to be in it, and somebody dies, yes, it's the drug dealer's fault. Do you take responsibility in the sense that you could have called the cops or something like that if this person is dying? maybe it's a civil case that they could put on you, but absolutely, like you said, it's not your problem. If that person decides to do too much, you can easily walk out the building or whatever.
I'm out.
That's what it is. But when it comes to this, I will say women should take some type of not necessarily account. What did Rob say? An account of what the guy wants. And if they say, "Well, I still want to have the baby," cool. But to me, that's the last thing I want to hear you complain about a deadbeat dad.
Well, I think I honestly,
Because-
Darren, to that scenario, I think the male should have an opt-out clause.
I just don't want to hear about the deadbeat dad. That's all. Because he's telling you that he is not going to be a good dad. Don't. To me, I don't expect, if you are what you are, I don't expect you to be something else. And if you give me a fair warning that you're going to be like this, I'm cool with that. But if this totally opposite, if they tell you to have the child and they're not doing it, I understand.
But what's if that child turns out to be LeBron James?
I don't know what to tell you about the dad. That's, if LeBron has that good of a heart that he wants to be in his dad's life, that's great.
But to my other point though, on a serious note, do you think that the male should have an opt-out clause?
In that scenario where he tells the woman, like, I don't know what time it is for, you to be able to get the abortion. But let's say he finds out in month 1 and he tells her 6, 7 times, get the abortion. I'm not going to be a good dad. I'm not going to move to that state. I'm not going to do half custody, none of that shit. I don't know.
LA, what do you think? Do you think a male should have an opt-out clause?
You have safe sex, so you don't get in the situation.
Condoms also blessed.
Condoms do, but they also have spermicide on them, so any type of sperm that comes out is dead. So that's not a valid option. So
Touche.
Or just put hot sauce in the condom like Drake.
All right, we're not doing that no more. We're not talking about that no more.
it's her body. She can do whatever she wants with it. If she wants to keep it, she can keep it. Should have had safe sex.
But do you think that the guy should have to pay child support if she keeps the baby?
Anyone has to do anything if you guys.
The government will
decide.
force him to.
What I'm saying is you don't have to do anything. But hold on, you don't have to do anything. You didn't have to fuck her raw. You didn't have to do any of that, but you did. So now there are consequences, and so you have to deal with your consequences. I'm sorry.
You can still have condoms. You can still have babies out with condoms. Let's talk about that. Spermicide is on condoms, which there are. I'm just saying.
Condoms aren't 100%. They're not 100%.
All right, I don't know what conversation we're having, but
I just wanted to let that.
They're not perfect.
you're absolutely right. They're not perfect.
So
As is
the
not
the
the
question
number one.
is, I remember my doctor told me, you know, the best way not to get a girl pregnant, not have sex with her.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
What they all say.
And I was like, I don't know, wear a condom, and he was like, don't have sex with her.
But to me, back to what we were saying before, that's not a realistic approach to having a conversation about
Exactly.
sex. That is not realistic because practicing abstinence is not a thing. After eventually you'll have sex. So that I don't know. It's a convoluted conversation.
Then then it goes to the question of here's where I get confused. It gets to the questions of, if we do make them have the baby, should we just have them give it adopted, because they still have to go through those 9 months of pregnancy as well. Letting the kid be adopted by another family, shit like that.
Do you know how mentally fucked that would be? Do you know what that would do to somebody?
It's better than aborting a baby.
Do you know you have to take care of another human being in your body for 9 months and then you just give it away?
They actually made a movie about it. It's called Juno, back in the day.
Do you know how that would fuck somebody up, bro?
Yeah, but having an abortion could fuck somebody up too. That fucks up a lot of women
Hold
too.
up, bro. We're talking about two different things now. We're talking about two different things.
Talking about mental health issues.
What are we talking about here? Are we talking about? Explain this again. she gets pregnant and she wants to give up a baby for adoption, or what? What are you talking
No,
about?
well, I'm asking. I say it's very confusing to me when we're having the conversation of all alternatives to abortions, like instead of aborting the baby, possibly giving it up for adoption. That's where I said it just gets confusing for me. I just wanted to try to talk that out.
Most people have abortions because they don't want to have a child, not go through a year having a child and just give it away. Like
But
that's
once again, we watch a lot of Kaylin Samuels. It's hard for a lot of women to have children after a certain age that want children. So there's somebody out there that really wants to have a children that maybe for some medical reason not be able to.
I don't think you're hearing it from his standpoint,
that doesn't
because if you get pregnant and if you want an abortion, it's because more likely you don't want to go through with the pregnancy, not necessarily having the baby, but the whole pregnancy, the 9 months of it. You're saying go through the whole 9 months and then give it to somebody when you're actually attached to the baby now.
You might not even be attached. You might have spent the last 6 months smoking and doing drugs. Just fuck this baby.
Anything like that.
Like that sounds that just doesn't like that's
Now it
mentally-
sounds like we're not holding women accountable. That's what it sounds like.
accountable for what? They
Getting
don't
pregnant.
for what they don't want.
It takes two to tango, dog.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And sometimes you have a drunk night of passion and you get fucking pregnant.
Period. Point. Blank. Period.
I
And you
feel
have a
like
fight in the morning.
let's going back to
Like sometimes that shit happens, bro.
going back to the opt-out thing. I feel like if women have the reason to opt out of having the baby, you should have the reason to opt out of being in that child's life and not have to pay child support or something like that. You should also have the option to opt out. That's all I'm saying.
I think that might be a bigger problem than anything else. Because if that happens, we're talking about probably the end of just kids without being in a relationship.
They also say there's also some race theories saying that they don't want abortion clinics in white neighborhoods. They want them more in the black neighborhoods to help kill off the black population.
Well, we just saw from the statistic that's a fucking lie. So
Wait, how's that a lie from the statistics?
well,
Black
who's
people
getting
are
the
having
most,
abortions.
who's getting the most abortions?
Black people.
So
The race theory is that that's good. The white people want that, so we can kill off these black kids and keep producing.
well, they
these
just
white
said
kids.
no abortions, so that's wrong, right? That's not possible. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they're still
They
right.
just said no to abortions, and black people were getting the most abortions. So if they wanted to cancel black population, they would say yes to abortions and make more abortion clinics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think that was valid.
Wait, but no, but
What
I don't
about
understand your
abortion?
point because the reason they canceled it because they said it was unconstitutional.
But that
That's
brings
recent.
more black. That brings more black people.
So the race theory was that they're putting more abortion clinics in black neighborhoods to cancel out the black population, right? That was the original theory.
Yes.
But now that they're saying no more abortions, that theory is now canceled because there are now no more abortion clinics in any neighborhood, right?
I mean, isn't it state by state? Because they were talking about going to different states to get the abortions. Because they were talking
Well, I
about
guess
going to
we'll
more
see.
liberal states
We'll
to
see.
possibly get them because they're going to be
Most of the
overloaded,
states like Mississippi, Texas, Alabama that we saw earlier,
which
look like
are
they
very
have high
tend to be very conservative.
Mhm.
Those states tend to be very conservative. Let's look at California. Where's California? Oh, it's not. It's NR. What does NR mean? Not like
reported.
not reported. Gotcha. So to wrap up this conversation, what's your guys' last take to wrap it up?
I think the same is starting. It's the woman's choice, 100%. But I think we need to educate people on sex either earlier and or be more mature about it. I don't know what else, but we need more education as well. But it's definitely The woman's choice.
LA.
I'm pro-choice. I don't understand how the government can tell you to do anything, especially since the government's so fucking gung-ho on the Second Amendment and it's your rights and don't demean on your rights, but yet we can demean on our rights. So we'll figure it out a day at a time.
I tend to be pro-choice, but I do like the idea of the male being able to opt out of paying child support if they do not want to take care of the child.
I don't understand that because no man would want to take care of the child, but he'll just have 100 kids.
Well, that's going to make women more picky about who they have sex with.
The burden is now being put back on women.
It's your body. Take care of your body then. Don't get pregnant.
But no, it takes two to tango. That's not right. That's not right, bro. That's not right, man. That's not.
But it takes two to tango there, but the man that doesn't have a right to say, hey, man, I don't want to have this abortion. I'm not financially stable enough to take care of this baby.
You know the same thing you said. No. The same thing you said that how many abortions should a woman be able to have until we say that you should have kids?
Yeah.
How many kids is a man going to be able to have until it says, no, you need to take care of all of these kids now?
You think you should get a punch card too?
Exactly. Think about that.
But these women can get abortions if they don't want to have kids with them then.
And he can pull out. He can wear a condom. He can wear a vasectomy. Thank you. Bro, that's wrong.
Come on now.
Like, to LA's point, there would just be a lot of guys having a lot of kids. Well,
They won't be having the kids if the women don't have them. Don't they have the choice to go get an abortion? In your scenario?
Not anymore.
In this scenario we're talking about right now, they don't. That's why it's fucked up.
No, they won't.
Well, guess what? They shouldn't be having sex then.
Yeah, that's true.
I think at the end of the day, the best advice my mom told me is if you shouldn't have sex with a girl that you wouldn't want to have a kid with.
That's true.
I agree with that.
If you don't think there will be a good mother, you shouldn't have sex with them just because if you do get them pregnant, you got to deal with them for the rest of your life.
I agree with that, but to also LA's point, I don't think we should all be pent up fueling sexually urged people.
we just need to be picky of who we choose to have sex with. I think we need to be more picky. We can't just be fucking everything.
You're absolutely right.
All right. Did you guys want to wrap up, or do you guys want to go out on something a little softer?
We can end with some softer going.
All right. Well, we're gonna watch this video and see what
Hear
happens.
it out that way because that's the door. It's okay. Listen, I'm so scared. Listen, let's make a deal, baby.
TikTok,
I'm gonna safely get you out. Oh God, his heart's racing. I'm assuming, I'm gender assuming.
So there's a mouse, a rat, whatever it is, stuck inside of their house, and somehow it got inside the windows, and she's
also
building up the
gender
courage to
assuming.
get out of the house. Poor single mother of 5.
I just need to get with it. I'm gonna open this, and you just scurry right out there, back to your happy, whimsical life.
Bro, she wasted 22 seconds to make this video. How long do you think it took her to set up this video up? This rat dead, dog. Master Splinter's gone.
Please,
Let's watch.
don't bite me. Don't do anything crazy. Don't give me any diseases or my family. Oh God. Okay, it's okay. Oh shit.
Bro, who's this hurting more, her or the rat? Like, what's she doing?
Man,
She's opening it up. So okay.
can you see your brother? Yeah. Okay, just stay in there. Okay, if I scream, everything is fine.
I literally started laughing.
Everything. If I scream, everything is not fine. You need to go get me.
Play it.
Oh shit. Oh, he's just coming down with it. Oh, maybe that's better. Oh no, I don't. This is like a medieval game. Oh, there. Okay. Nope, you don't. Oh,
The squirrel.
sorry. Nope, you were right there. You were right the first time. Nope. That way. No.
What?
Hey,
That nigga said mine. We'll see y'all next week.
hey, yo.
Oh God. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's wow.
Try to get it out of there.
I feel like we should have saw like iPhone, like an iPhone 8 commercial or something pop up. Like this is on iPhone or something.
Shot on my phone.
Yo, I was not expecting that.
He said, "I'll take this outside for you, mom."
Where did your dog even come from?
That was
She
Nipsey.
was she also said she was gender assuming. She's hilarious for that.
Oh,
That's
All right,
I
y'all.
know.
Thank you again for watching another episode of the Purple Pill Podcast.